Hi, I'm Allie. I'm your host for Code Along with Black Girls Code. Today, we're building a classic arcade game, Meteor Blaster. Imagine you're in a spaceship trying to save the galaxy by blasting meteors out of the sky. By the end of this video, you'll have your very own playable game that you can customize however you want. Ready to blast off? Let's go, coders. Before we get into this arcade game, make sure you like and subscribe so that you never miss a video. Let's get started by going to arcade.makecode.com. Click the orange New Project button on the left side of the screen. Give your project a descriptive name, like Meteor Blasters. Once you've got the perfect name, click Create. Take a look around the MakeCode editor. It's your coding playground. See those options at the top? You can code using blocks, JavaScript, or Python. But for this mission, we're leveling up and coding in JavaScript. Click on JavaScript at the top and let's get ready to build something awesome. Let's get our code organized before we blast off. In the editor, we'll use code comments to keep things neat and easy to read. Just type // followed by a note, like this, // game setup. The / tell the computer to ignore that line. It's just for us to stay organized. It's pretty cool, right? Now, let's set the ultimate space vibe for our game. Click on the Scene tab, drag the Set Background Image to block into the workspace. Watch as it magically transforms into JavaScript text when placed in the editor. Click the arrow next to the line number to shrink the image code and keep things tidy. Time to design our outer space world. Click the palette icon next to the code to open the image editor. You can draw your own pixel art galaxy, or hit the Gallery tab to pick a ready-made space scene. Choose an epic background from the top 2 rows. I'm going to use the moon background image for my project. Then, let's click Done. Click on the play icon on the top left. And boom! Your game now looks like an intergalactic adventure. Let's add our spaceship. After all, we need a hero in this galaxy. Go to the Sprites tab and drag the Sprite of Kind block into the workspace. Click the arrow again to minimize the image code. Let's give our sprite a name. Delete my sprite and type Spaceship instead. This makes our code easier to read. The default kind is already set to player, which is perfect for our spaceship. Time to design your ship. Click the color palette to draw your own or pick a ready-made one from the gallery. Use the filter button to find space-themed images faster. I'm going to use the pink and purple spaceship sprite to match the moon background image. Then, click Done when you're happy with your ship. Hit play on the emulator to test out the code. Your spaceship should appear right in the center of the screen. But we don't want it floating in space. We need it at the bottom, ready to dodge those meteors. Open the Sprites tab again and drag the Set Position to XY underneath the spaceship code. Change My Sprite to Spaceship so we're updating the right sprite. In MakeCode, we always need to use the sprite's name when changing its actions. The game screen is 160 pixels wide and 120 tall, since I want to place the spaceship sprite in the bottom center of the screen. I'm going to use 80 and 100 as my X and Y coordinates. Tinker with the values in the set position code and then hit play on the emulator to see your ship's new position. Our spaceship player sprite needs to be able to defend itself against falling meteorites. So, I think it's time to add some movement. To add movement, I'll have to open controller and drag move with buttons underneath the set position function. The move sprite function takes 3 possible parameters: sprite, vx, and vy. This makes the function more specific by telling it which sprite to move when the arrow buttons are pressed. The Vx and Vy parameters represent the x and y velocity, which sets how fast it moves in each direction: left, right, up, and down. Inside the parentheses, delete null and then type spaceship. Click play on the emulator and then use the arrow buttons to move the spaceship around the screen. I'm noticing that I can move the sprite in all 4 directions, up, down, left, and right. So let's update the code so that the spaceship can only move left and right on the screen, like a true Meteor Blaster game. Inside the parentheses, after spaceship, type a comma. A pop-up will appear to help. Let's type 100 for our Vx value, and then add a comma and set the Vy value to 0. Now the spaceship can't move up and down on screen. Click play again to see the spaceship only move left and right. Oh no. When I move the spaceship too far left or right, it literally disappears off screen. Let's fix that. Open Sprites again and drag Set Stay in Screen into the editor. Remember to update the sprite's name, then test out the code again to see the spaceship stay in screen. Now we have a spaceship ready to defend the galaxy. But what's a game without a challenge? You guessed it, it is time to add some meteorites. Let's add a comment to keep our code neat. Type 2// and type the words create enemies underneath the set stay in screen code. I want meteorites to repeatedly appear throughout the project and fall straight down from the top of the screen toward the spaceship sprite. To do this, let's use a loop to run the same chunk of code over and over again. Open the Game tab and drag Run Code on Game Update every millisecond under the comment. This onUpdate interval loop repeats actions on a timer. Perfect for spawning meteorites every half a second. Now, let's add the code that will create the meteorites repeatedly. We can use a specific kind of sprite, projectiles, to move across the screen. Open Sprites. Now drag projectile from side with VXVY into the inside of the onUpdate interval loop. Click the arrow to minimize the code, then change projectile to meteorite. Click the palette icon to design your very own meteorite or pick one from the gallery. Now we've got some space rocks. Since we want the meteorites to fall straight down, let's update the VX parameter. The X velocity sets how fast a sprite moves left and right. Let's set VX to 0 so that there's no sideways movement. Hit play to test the code. Whoa, the meteorites are falling from the top. But wait, they're all coming from the same spot. Let's add some randomness to change where the meteorites fall and how fast they fall. To do this, we can open Sprites and drag Set Position to XY inside the onUpdate interval loop. Change my sprite to Meteorite so we're updating the right sprite. Let's add code to randomly set the X position of each Meteorite sprite. We'll still need to keep the Y position set to 0 so that the sprites fall from the very top of the game screen. Delete the first 0 and then open Math and drag Randant in its place. The Randant function will select a random number between a minimum and maximum value. This is useful for making a game unique by changing the behavior of sprites throughout the project. Because we want meteorites to fall anywhere across the top of the screen, let's use the screen width dimensions to select a random value. This screen is 160 pixels wide, so let's replace 10 with 160 inside the parentheses. Now the meteorites will be placed in a random X position from 0 to 160, the width of the screen. To add even more challenge, let's randomize the speed of the meteorite sprites too. This will make the game even more fun to play because the user must think about how fast the meteorite is falling to position their spaceship correctly. Delete 50 from the create projectile from side function, and then open Math again and drag Randant in its place. Pro tip, if the Randant function doesn't replace the 50 and instead appears below the line, highlight the code, then use Command X to cut the function, then Command V to paste it in the correct position. Set the range from 20 to 100, so some meteorites fall slowly while others zoom down super fast. Click play and watch the chaos unfold. Tinker with the values in the onUpdate interval loop to change how frequently each sprite appears and how fast they fall down the game screen. Okay, whew. Now that we've got that feature working, it's time to fight back. Let's add a laser to blast those meteorites. Add a Launch Projectiles code comment to the editor. Then open the Controller tab and drag Run Code On button underneath it. This is an event block, which means it waits for something to happen, like pressing the A button, or spacebar, before running the code inside it. Open Sprites and add Projectile from with VX, VY inside the button pressed event. Make sure to grab the one that fires from a sprite, not from a side. Click the arrow to shrink the projectile code, then click the palette icon to design your very own laser or pick one from the gallery. I'm going to use the bright flash image from my project. Click Done when you're ready. Now we need to launch the laser from our spaceship. Delete null inside the parentheses and type spaceship instead. We want the laser to shoot straight up toward the meteorites. We can use 0 as the Vx value and then use -50 in the Vy value. The negative sign will make the sprite move upward on screen. Hit play on the emulator and then use the A button or press the space bar to send projectiles toward the falling meteorites. Now we'll make the game react when the laser hits a meteorite or when a meteorite crashes into the spaceship. Before we create events, we need to make sure our sprites are correctly categorized. We have our spaceship, which is a player sprite, the laser, which is a projectile sprite, and following meteorites, which are also projectile sprites. Let's update the meteorite's sprite kind to enemy so that we can create unique events in this project. Open Sprites and then drag set kind to into the bottom of the on update interval loop. Change the sprite name to Meteorite. Inside the parentheses, delete .player, then retype the period or the dot operator, and notice that a pop-up window appears to help you finish the code. Select enemy as the sprite kind. Now meteorites are officially the bad guys. Let's make something happen when a laser hits a meteorite. Add an overlap events comment underneath all the code currently in the editor to keep us organized. Open Sprites and drag run code on of kind overlaps of kind under the comment. This event block will run the code inside of it when a sprite of a certain kind overlaps a sprite of a different kind. In the first parameter, delete .player and retype the dot operator. Select projectile from the pop-up window. In the second parameter, delete .player again, retype the dot operator and select enemy from the pop-up window. This event will trigger whenever a laser collides with a meteorite. Let's remove the laser when it collides with a meteorite. Open Sprites and drag destroy inside the on overlap event. Inside the parentheses, delete the my sprite and type sprite instead. This will use the projectile sprite from the on overlap event. Let's repeat this step to remove the meteorite when it collides with a laser. Drag another destroy block from the sprites tab inside the on overlap event. Change my sprite to other sprite. This will use the enemy sprite from the on overlap event. Inside the parentheses, type a comma, then effects dot. A pop-up will appear. Choose a really cool explosion effect. I'll go with spray. Let's play sound when the projectile sprite destroys the enemy sprite. Open music and drag play into the bottom of the on overlap event. Delete dot bidding inside the parentheses, then retype the dot operator and scroll down in the pop-up window to find the wrench icon to view the available sounds. Select a positive sound to play when a user destroys a projectile. I'm going to use the power-up sound in my project. Click play to test what happens when projectile and enemy sprites overlap on screen. Now our spaceship isn't just dodging, it's fighting back. Let's keep this going and level up the game. What if a meteorite slams into our spaceship? Let's code the crash. Open Sprites and drag another run code on of kind overlaps of kind under the projectile/enemy on overlap event. The first parameter should stay player since we're tracking the spaceship. In the second parameter, delete dot player, then retype the dot operator and select enemy from the pop-up window. Now this event will trigger whenever the spaceship collides with a meteorite. Open Sprites and drag destroy inside the new on overlap event. Change my sprite to other sprite. This makes sure we only remove the meteorite when it crashes into the spaceship. Inside the parentheses, type a comma, then effects dot. A pop-up will appear. Choose an epic explosion effect. I'll go with fire. Open music and drag play into the bottom of the on overlap event. Delete dot bidding inside the parentheses, then retype the dot operator and scroll down in the pop-up window to find the wrench icon to view available sounds. Select a negative sound to play when the spaceship is hit by a meteorite. I'm going to use the powered down sound in my project. Click play to test what happens when projectile and enemy sprites overlap on our screen. Now we've got a real challenge: dodge or get destroyed. Let's keep coding. Let's turn up the excitement by adding a score and a countdown timer to the game. Scroll back up to the top of the editor and create a new line under the Spaceship Sprites code. Open Info and drag Set Score To onto the new line. Keep it at 0 to start. Gotta earn those points. Open Info again and drag Start Countdown under the Set Score code. The number inside the parentheses controls the time limit. Set it to 10 seconds for a quick challenge. Want more time? Increase it. Open Info and drag Change Score By into the bottom of both on-overlap events. Laser hits a meteorite, increase the score by 1. Meteorite hits a spaceship, decrease the score by 1. All right, coders, let's end the game when the timer runs out. Will you win with a high score or lose in defeat? Let's find out. I'm going to add a game over event comment at the bottom of the editor to keep the code organized. Underneath, let's use an if-else statement to determine whether the game ends in a win or a loss. If the user earns 10 points when the timer runs out, they win. Else, if the user does not earn 10 points or more, they lose. Open Info and drag Run Code On Countdown End under the Game Over event comment. Open Logic and drag If Else inside the On Countdown End event. Inside the if condition, delete true, then type this. This checks if the player's score is 10 or more when the timer hits 0. Open Game and drag Use Effect For and Game Over blocks inside the if conditions opening. Repeat the step and add Use Effect For and Game Over blocks inside the else conditions opening. This time, delete true in both functions and replace it with false. In the Set Game Over Effect function, delete dot confetti, retype the dot operator, and choose a losing effect, like melt or dissolve. Click play to test out the code and try to score 10 points before the time runs out. Before we go, we have to save our work. Click the share icon in the top right corner. If you haven't done so already, give your project a descriptive title. Click Share Project and the link is generated. Use the copy button to share the link with your friends, scan the QR code, or use one of the other connected apps to share your work. If you want to make edits to your project later, open the link on your own and customize away. Wow, we just built a full arcade game from scratch. You now have a working Meteor Blaster game and you can play and customize it how you want. Feel free to experiment and make your own. Great job, everyone. I hope you have so much fun playing your game with your friends. Today, we learned how to create player, enemy, and projectile sprites in a project and customize their appearance. We use event blocks to create interactions between sprites of different kinds, game blocks to make sprites appear repeatedly throughout the game, info blocks to create variables that update throughout the game, and math blocks to add randomness to a sprite's position and speed. Thanks for joining me in the Code Zone. See you next time!